I'll tell you what, though, Chad Knaus and the guys, even Jimmy, are probably thinking, man, they're going to be the longest. Whoa, there goes the 5-car round.
Yellow.
Oh,
whoa, and it gets hit. Ridge is there, the 97 of Ambrose.
Look at this 28 car. It's at the 38 car, all jacked up in the back. Somebody's underneath him.
So much we can't even see who that is.
Got a little fire out the exhaust.
That's the 84 of Scott Speed that he's up on the hood of.
He put it in gear trying to drive off, but no traction.
He's got a Ford Fusion in his windshield, and Speed able to climb out of the car.
That's what you call getting somebody jacked up, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. They put the red flag out right now. They're stopping the cars short of all of this, which is a good idea to get it cleaned up, because these basically are these guys have their tires on for the last. They don't want to run them through this debris.
Watch the Montoya and the contact there with the 5-car Mears.
Wow.
Just hard racing through that dog leg.
Yeah, Casey Mears' great day went south in a hurry.
And all these other guys see are getting involved here. Oh, Marcus Ambrose having a good run there. Looks like he got a piece of that.
Yep.
Got into the back of Riggs. 0-1 able to get through. Whoa. And then there's the contact with the 84, the 70, 38, 77 up against the wall.
70, who had just got back onto the lead lap in the previous caution.
NASCAR wanted a red flag to be able to get the safety crews out quickly with the fire extinguishers because of the raw fuel there, and that being on top of the other race car. There's a 66 of Scott Riggs. Trying to get slowed down and got hit from behind. Seventh caution flag of the day, and now the second red flag of the day. We had one early on for 23 minutes for rain, and now David Gilliland able to climb out of that car from the second floor.
That was a long way down. He didn't realize that ground was that far away.
Well, let's head back to the garage area where Shannon is caught up with Jeff Gordon.
Well, Doc, about 100 laps. Jeff Gordon, this 24 team, you guys were able to hang out there after the first initial engine problem happened. What do you think happened inside that car?
I'm not really sure. You know, I felt it early on, start to lose some power, and you know, I didn't pay too much attention to it because I'm still getting plenty of RPM, and car was still running good, and then all of a sudden it started really going down, and I felt it lose a cylinder, so probably a valve or something, but I'm not really sure. Kind of year we've had with this DuPont Chevrolet team. You know, we've had a lot of stuff happen to us. Engines haven't been one of them, and so now this is in the mix, and nobody's better than our engine shop. So we'll figure it out, make sure it doesn't happen again, and you know, it's just unfortunate. We had a good run going today, and you know, moving up in the points and doing everything we need to do to close out this season on a positive note. Not going to be now.
All right, Jeff Gordon still looking for that first win, guys. He has one more shot next week in Homestead.
He'd been running at the finish in the last 15 races here at Phoenix. The only one he had not finished the very first time he came here in 1993. Here's the damage on the front of Marcus Ambrose's car. He got in the back of the 66 of Scott Riggs when they were all trying to get woed down over there.
Yeah, the two guys battling for that 35th spot in owners points are both involved in this. The 84 of Scott Speed and Marcus Ambrose in this 47 car.
Under a red flag for the second time today, they're going to have to pick that 38 car up and try to get it off the hood of Scott Speed's Toyota. Back in just a moment.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, second to last race of the season, Phoenix International Raceway under the red flag for a second time after a multi-car pileup in turn 3. You don't see them stacked on top of each other like that very often, but it has happened here, and the race is stopped to clean up the mess out in the corner. So while things are quiet on the track, let's take a minute and check out today's Sprint Cup monster moment. It revolves around Jimmy Johnson and his bid to do as much championship damage as he can today. Actually, it started back on Friday in qualifying.
Oh boy, I tell you, he put that number 48 car right on the pole position. I mean, he really set a statement out saying, guys, I'm not going to mess around. I want to go for it. He's led the most laps right now. got a heck of a good hot rod right now, guys.
Trying to lead the first lap of the race to get bonus points. That didn't work out. It did for him a little bit later, lap 81.
He got over there lap 81. He's taken off. He's led 177 laps since then. He's got a super fast car. I don't think anybody's going to touch him.
So crew chief Chad Knaus plots out the strategy and what could be the final pit stop for his team, and turned out they got kind of a lucky break for that last pit stop too.
They did. They believed they had a slow leak in the right rear tire, got it changed, made the adjustment, got the car out first.
And peeled some paper debris that was off the front of the grill with the big pole, so Jimmy Johnson's team getting it done when it counted most. For more monster moments, check out NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile. Jimmy Johnson in command of this field as we sit under the red flag. Now let's talk strategy just a little bit. 39 laps to go under the red flag here. They just came off pit road and went for the restart with 46 to go, Ray. If you are first Chad Knaus, do we see Jimmy Johnson on pit road again the rest of the distance?
No, we don't. Jimmy hadn't. They've got to keep him clear of the debris. I believe there's going to be another caution yet that would eat up all the time that you would have to make things up. As good as his car is, it's got 4 brand new tires on it. He needs to stay on the racetrack.
And now that you got Carl Edwards up to 4th position, I think that kind of changes things for them too, right? They kind of are in the same boat with Jimmy.
If his car's good, he's got to stay out too. You know, if it's not good and there's a caution with 20 to go, then he's got to try and pit, maybe put on 2 tires. But right now, he's got to hope his car's good enough to beat Jimmy.
So right now, all quiet at Phoenix for a second time today. The first one was for rain, if you weren't with us earlier. Red flag number 2 with 39 laps to go. We're coming back to Phoenix for more in just a minute. Next Sunday, Jimmy Johnson looks to be in good position to be crowned a 3-time consecutive champion in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series in the Ford 400 at Homestead Miami Speedway. It's only been done once before. Cale Yarborough in the late 1970s. Watch Jimmy Johnson receive the NASCAR Sprint Cup trophy. Most likely. Then again, you never know. 39 laps to go today and a whole race to go next Sunday. Our coverage of the Ford 400, ABC next Sunday, starting with NASCAR Countdown at 3 Eastern Time. Now, this programming note, for those of you living in the eastern and central time zones of the United States, because of the extended delays in today's race, our network has other commitments to programming that must be adhered to, and so we want to invite those of you in the eastern and central time zones at the bottom of the hour to join our race coverage, which will be continued over on ESPN2. Those of you in the mountain and western time zones will stay here on ABC, but for those of you in the eastern and central time zones at the bottom of the hour, 7:28 Eastern Time, the race coverage will move to ESPN2. Not something we want to do, something we have to do, and we hope that you will join us over there if you wish to see the concluding moments of this race. So again, at 7:28 Eastern Time in the eastern and central time zones, switch to ESPN2 for continuing coverage of the NASCAR race. Mountain and Pacific time zones will stay here on ABC. Let's go to Jamie Little.
Well, Alan, one of the most spectacular and fiery crashes we've seen. Good news is both drivers out, David Gilliland, Scott Speed. What did you see, David?
You know, somebody lost it up there in front of us, and you know, just kind of checked up and just kind of a chain reaction started that whole deal. So a lot of good cars got taken out, and you know, we were struggling today. Our digital TV transition, Ford Fusion, wasn't quite as good as we wanted, and we were struggling, but we got a lot better there at the end. So it's a shame. You know, hopefully we can get it fixed. I don't know that it's too bad. You know, Scott's hood, I think, was underneath my feet, but it was kind of a wild ride there. But you know, glad everybody's okay, and we're going to try and get ours fixed and get back out there.
Well, Scott, you came out joking. You said it was kind of like Days of Thunder-ish.
No, I mean, I went into a cloud of smoke, and next thing you know, I was stopping to hit something, and then I saw a little bit of fire, so I was boning out that thing, getting out, and David started burning out, and I was like, just getting me all with rubber, but no, it was all right. I mean, luckily at the end there, we finally got our car sorted out. I mean, we had a really bad understeer all day, but luckily, I mean, at the end, we were definitely showing progress, and that's important.
It was the 4th Sprint Cup start for Scott Speed. It's only the first race that he has not finished. And on a side note, the 66 Scott Riggs, okay, he's been released.